Hello, and we're live, coming straight from here. Where is here? You don't need to know that because it's none of your business. But hey, I want to welcome you all back to my podcast, RedditRah. I am your host and your bad biddy, Queen Raw, aka Queen Cho, aka now RedditRah. I want to say right now, before we do and say anything, that I thank God for being here, and I thank you all for being here with me. Because like I said last time, God is why we here, and He's why we're going to continue to be here. So today's theme of this episode is criticism. Especially taking constructive or any type of criticism. How do we do it? How do we handle it? How do you feel afterwards? All those type of good things or whatever. But yeah, let's get into these posts because we finna get into this. We got Reddit. Okay, so basically I typed in criticism and the first thing I see that comes up was a post that says, why do I feel so upset when I get any sort of criticism? Let's look at this one. Why do I feel so upset when I get any sort of criticism? So at work today, my manager pulled me aside and very nicely said that someone had mentioned something that I need to do better at work. She was really sweet, said I'm doing a great job and that I just need to be mindful. I really like this manager. She makes me feel supported, listens to my concerns fully, and is a really nice person. But as soon as I heard that, it made me feel absolutely sick to my stomach, and I felt like I was going to burst into tears. Is this rejection sensitivity dysphoria, or how can I cope with it? As illogical as I know it is, my evening feels absolutely ruined and the whole night feels tarnished. I want to get better at coping with criticism because it will always be a part of my life. Yeah, let's talk about criticism. If you want to be real, the most beautiful and amazing people on this planet, they get insecure too. They get insecure when it comes to criticism. That's really what it ends up being at the end of the day. When someone tells you something and either you feel flawless or you're working towards being that perfection or that flawlessness, it really hurts your ego and your pride sometimes when someone is like, hey, you think that you're a good person, but you're not because you did this, that, and the third. And it's like sometimes people have to understand that like just because you do certain things or make certain mistakes, that doesn't define who you are as a person. And the sooner and the better that we understand that, we can like move forward, because we have to understand that nobody is perfect. None of us here, and I do mean none of us here, are Jesus. We're just creations of Him. I can see the first person's comment and it says, I'm the same way. I think it is very common for autistic people. Most autistic people are very focused on getting things right, and maybe that is one reason a lot of us get really upset at criticism. It indicates that we did not get it right. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that in this post it is an autistic woman, excuse me. But yeah, those type of things, like that mental ailment, in a way people don't even understand those things as much, because no matter how much you study it, no matter how much, even if you be around it, you'll never understand it as much as the person who's currently going through it. And I feel like that's so real and beautiful that this person like was able to even relate to that and understand that like they get overly critical. I'm a Gemini, so I completely understand the process or the thoughts of like being an overcritical or overwhelmed, overthinking person. Like literally my first episode, we talking about a story about how someone is saying basically like, damn, how do we overconquer deep thinking, aka anxiety, and how do we use it for our good? And it's crazy because I actually got a book that's talking about that. And a lot of times it's just be in your head. We have to stop trying to be something that we're not, especially stop trying to be perfect or be what somebody else thinks that or wants us to be. You have to be yourself. You have to be yourself if you do not get some help. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyways, next we go see what else they got on Reddit. Oh, this second one is crazy. And it says ADHD. Criticism, even constructive, is very discouraging. I hate being critiqued. Why is it so hard for me to take criticism? I'm an artist and any corrective critical comment on my work triggers a creative block. It to me feels like, hey, you know how you do that was the best work you could possibly produce with the skill set and knowledge you have. You can do better. Call me soft, but hey, this is the best work you've produced so far. Motivates me to get better more. Yeah, some of y'all need to like this writing be confusing as fuck. I'm sorry, I'm trying, y'all. If my cooking is critiqued, I'm discouraged from even cooking again. If how I speak is pointed out, I'm compelled to stay quiet. If something about my eating is critiqued, I stop doing it in public. It is also unrealistic because society is critical, if anything, but it is so soul crushing. It's like I feel people on certain stuff, but then you got to get to that point where you try to like build yourself up to move past it. Like you have to understand that like the person that you are letting judge you or make you feel some type of way about who or what you are, they feel some type of way about themselves too, especially that they have to take it upon themselves to point out whatever it is about you that they don't like, especially if it's not affecting or bothering them. I've always felt like that's the weirdest thing, like being in somebody's business. Like, does it pay you? No. Is it gonna pay you? No, unless you fucking Wendy Williams. But who is Wendy Williams besides Wendy Williams? Anyways, I just have to say, like, all of that critical shit at the end of the day, it can be good though. I understand how this person says it can be discouraging, but you have to take that and use it as fuel. Like, at the end of the day, it can be discouraging when you first start something and you don't even see the end goal or what it's gonna become, but you have to keep going and working towards something because it's gonna pay off. Inevitably, it's not going to pay off for you. It's not going to do shit for you, honestly, and actually it's not gonna do shit for you. So let's start there and let's understand that. I just have to say that, like, damn, a lot of shit, one more time, like that I say on this camera, I be talking to myself. We have to keep going. Nothing that we do is for no reason, even the bad stuff. But when it comes to the bad stuff, it's good to get to the root of it so that you can understand, like, man, I'm doing this. Why am I doing that? Especially if it's like, I don't want to do that. Especially if it's like, I don't want to do that anymore. It's like, it's possible. And plus, we aiming towards perfection or to be the best. So when you're getting criticized or things are getting critical, you have to understand sometimes it's for the best. You have to use that as fuel and fire to get and do better. Like, if I'm sitting up here and I'm in a ring of guitarists and they play really, really well, and I as well want to surpass them, it's like, bro, you're gonna have to put that work in the same way that they do. But some people, it's just a natural thing. So it's like, stay in your lane, because at the end of the day, you can always learn from the master. You can always learn from everything, and everybody is just all in how you take it in. So be very mindful at all times. Anyways, let's move on to this next one. This one says, why do fans take any and all criticism as shitting on the entire work? This is something I've noticed with plenty of things, but recently experienced it after finishing FF7 Remake, attempting to discuss it with the community. Basically, my review of the game was that it was a fantastic 9 out of 10 experience, but that I wish they had a normal remake without changing the story in a weirdly meta way. Even as someone who didn't play the original, there were chunks of the game I could clearly tell weren't in the original game, especially when the whispers show up. In short, fantastic game that I wish was a true remake instead of a reimagining. Well, the FF7 fans took that as me absolutely despising the game and just being ignorant because I never played the original. Mind you, I stated that many times how much I love the game. This also happens often in my main fan base of One Piece. I fucking love One Piece to death. It's my favorite piece of media ever made, but pretending it was completely flawless is just disingenuous. But if you dare point out a flaw in that story, you will be murdered by the fans. In conclusion, criticism can be good and oftentimes comes from a place of love. Just because someone criticizes something you love doesn't mean they hate it and are calling it worthless trash. Okay, so for this one, I took something mostly from the in conclusion part, because the rest of that kind of was like, huh, you kind of going all over the place, shorty, hold up. But I have to say I agree with that. Criticism doesn't always come from a place of hate and harm. Like, sometimes people tell you things because they love you and that they see that, like, you need to get better at certain things that you might be completely oblivious or naive to. You can sit up there and, like, I can relate to that in my life, being in a point where you just be coasting. You ain't thinking about what's going on. You ain't thinking about how this is affecting people, and it's like, you can't be like that, bro. You cannot be like that. Everything you do, good and bad, has a consequence, and at some point in your life, and hopefully while you're young, you become mindful of that. So once again, mindfulness. Thank you. And at the end of the day, that's my favorite thing to say. That's just really sad, for real. Because sometimes I feel like that shit really can kill people in their confidence, because it happens. You don't think about how the little things that people say and do can really stop you from being who you are and doing what you want to do. Like, you will have moments where you, like, I don't know about other people personally, but me, like, you'll be sitting out there telling someone something because you're excited and you feel like it's a great idea, it's what you want to do, and they'll shit on your parade. And it's like, damn, I really wanted to do that, but now I feel like it's dumb. I feel like I shouldn't do it. I feel like it's not enough of money, or I don't have enough of time, or whatever else it may be, because somebody else is putting salt and doubts into your plans. Damn, I'm listening to somebody who would never do what I'm even trying to do. Damn, I'm listening to somebody who has a corporate mind, who's stuck in the loop of just working and dying. Damn, I'm listening to someone who doesn't understand generational wealth and gaining that fucking passive and 7 and 8, 9, 10, 11 incomes. Damn, understand that. Understand sometimes that just because you're not always where you want to be in life, your mindset and you having that shit and making it progress into something more can take you to so many places. Especially if you understand certain things like learning this and doing that. You might not want to, or you might feel like it's dumb, but it'll literally be something that'll start a conversation and you'll be talking to a motherfucker who can change your life, or vice versa. Like, you have to understand that you're a brand. You have to understand that you're a product. You have to understand what you bring to the table. You have to understand that you are the fucking table. That way, that confidence is motherfucking key. When it comes to the criticism, because you have that confidence, it won't even fucking matter. You'll be on some Rihanna shit like, oh shit, you don't like it? Okay, whatever, don't come. I mean, Riri said it best. Literally, she said it best. Next post. Let's see. Criticism and people pointing out flaws is unbearable. Does anyone else get extremely upset and furious when they are criticized or told they did something wrong? For me, it is absolutely unbearable. It really triggers me or activates the self-hate, deep shame button, and I lose control of my emotions. Start crying, which is extremely embarrassing in public. Start arguing with people and will not back down at work. Then I start getting it all horrible and my personality shifts and I start thinking of ways to hurt the person who criticized me. I get into an awful cycle of thinking like I can't do a single thing right. Everyone despises me and wants me to die. Since I am a burden, I should kill myself. And I think I messed up my way of defending myself from those thoughts and feelings. Is like, no, I haven't done anything wrong and they are just out to get me. They are lying and they want me to feel like this. I don't make mistakes. I can't accept that I could ever make any mistakes because it activates my shame and self-hatred and paranoia. So I have to fend it off no matter what, because if I accept that I did something wrong, then it is evidence of how insufferable and despicable I am. So I start hating the person who made me feel like that with furious anger and want to hurt them. Criticism can be like a sharp weapon that cuts me right to my very core and hurts so unbearably. Can anyone else relate? I stayed in this almost crying state for almost 15 minutes and my sense of self changed to be like this horrible, nasty, hateful person that scares me. That was at work today. A co-worker made me feel very nervous and rushed, and I did my job quicker and ended up making some mistakes. Then he criticized me for them. I didn't say or do anything really bad from the outside. I was just stroppy and pissed off, and I did make up with him at the end of the shift and explained that I was sorry for falling out with him. I know it's better that I can do that, not make up with people at all, but I shouldn't have to feel that way to begin with. Motherfucker, slow down. I could tell you emotional by just reading this shit. Yo ass, this is a fucking long ass run off with the plug sentence. God damn. Who the fuck hurt your feelings? Like, this is a prime example of how people need to learn to take criticism, because I'm pretty sure you are in the workplace. It couldn't have got that wild unless you took it there, which you clearly told on yourself that you did. Like, this is wild. You want to kill yourself? You want to kill the person? You want everybody to die? You want the building to explode? You want your mama to come fight them? Like, what the fuck is going on? This is why we on Reddit, bro. Cause like, what? That story was funny. Bro say he wanted to kill himself or herself. I don't even know. Like, that was wild. Like, okay. We're the first piece of advice that we're gonna give for this one is 1, learn how to take criticism. 2, seek therapy, because that does not warrant death towards you or the other person just because they made you mad. You know what I mean? But yeah. yeah, that was interesting. Criticism. That is a bold way to express yourself when you get criticism, especially in the workplace. That's very unprofessional. I feel like, because I get that, because honestly, there are times when in the workplace, people will try you. And all the time, it's not even management. It could be somebody who at the same level as you are, and they'll do little stuff, and it's like, nigga, you do not get paid more to do that. You do not get paid more to be on my dick. You on my dick so hard for this company, I'm finna give you a raise, my nigga. Like, goddamn. Anyways, that shit right there just but you just have to learn how to deal with it. Cause I remember one time at this place that I worked, I was a manager, you know, and there were other managers that you could tell that like they used to get bullied in high school, and this is their first time ever feeling important, so they were gonna take advantage of the opportunity. So yeah, that was really funny. It literally was funny, because there'll be people who like, they'll try to argue. I don't know about other people, but if you try to argue with me and I feel like you either ignorant, stupid, or whatever it may be, I'm just gonna look at you. I'm literally gonna be like, you got it. Like, you never had it before in your life. You need this, and I'm gonna give it to you. Here you go. I understand you used to be a loser, and now you're just an even bigger one with the little title. How's it feel to be you? How's it feel to be you? Woo! How's it feel to be you? How's it feel to be you? Woo! That shit was wild as fuck though. It really was funny though. I feel like you get some type of power for real when you don't let people like get you out of pocket, and you just be like, that shit, depending on who you dealing with, especially if they don't have that emotional intelligence, it drives them fucking nuts. Like, damn, I'm mad or whatever. You not gonna get mad with me? And you just sitting there like, nah, I'm not. Now what? That's power right there. Anyways, yeah, I feel like I should go to a whole nother post. I don't even want to read the comments of that one, because just glancing at them, that shit looked like it was gonna be something wild. Like them people like, yeah, kill yourself. They had you messed up. You're right. You should kill yourself. You should kill them. Like, yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that, please. Thank you. Namaste. Oh, this is a good one. This is a perfect one after that one. This one says, what's the reasoning behind why some people cannot handle criticism? You cannot explain criticism sensitivity with the big five like you can explain industriousness, this is whatever the fuck that word says, or empathy. And while the inability to handle criticism is common among personality disorders, not everyone that cannot handle it falls along the diagnostic criteria. So what is it? Do we have any reductionist model for explaining criticism sensitivity? I feel like you're trying to be too motherfucking smart and intricate to explain. Just say, why are people like overly critical? Why are they sensitive to that? And I feel like we all know the answer to that. The older you get, you understand that some people go through shit. Some people are different. Certain circumstances make some people this way, then they make others this way. It all depends on like who you are and what you personally can take. Some people break from things that others grow from, and that's just life. That literally shows every day, because the older you get, you realize that everybody go through something, or they're going through something. So you have to be real and be like, damn, this person probably went through the same thing I'm going through right now, or they did, or they're going to experience it at some point. And we're going to see if that's going to make them green, or is it going to make them green? Like, am I going to go chase the green? Am I going to get better on the inside? Am I going to want to get, like all of that really matters at the end of the day. And I just feel like I said, it all depends on how you take things and then how you use things. Like sometimes when you in that state of depression, you do eat all of that and you let it eat away at you, because I've been there where you're stuck and you like, I don't even feel like who I used to be, or am I still that person who was da-da-da-da-da? You got to pull yourself up out of that and realize that like, yes, that's who I am. I did it before and I can do it again times 10. And you got to realize who you are and understand that everything is everything. Everything is everything. And it's just a sensitive time. I feel like we sensitive too because of the information that we're introduced to on a daily. We start to understand what things like, for the longest, even when I was a child, I used to get nervous and I just would do certain things, or like you start to understand certain patterns, behavior patterns. And you like, oh, I used to do that because I had undiagnosed anxiety, or this was like that because I was depressed, or da da da. Like, you start to learn certain things, and it helps. I don't know about other people, but it helps me grow as a person, because I'm like, oh, that's why I was doing that. I literally was insane and depressed. Wow. But that's the first step to everything, that honesty, that looking in the mirror and being like, this is wrong. I know this is wrong and why this is wrong, and this is how I'm going to fix it. Oh, this is how I'm going to fix it. Okay, I'm finna get like 2 more posts out of here, because like I feel like as long as y'all get a good little something, we good. So let's get up to this next one. I really like that one though. That was a good one to go behind the other one, because that person was being overly critical of themselves. When is this one? It says, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's why some people can't take constructive criticism. We heard this a lot growing up, and it has some truth to it. But I believe that when you hear this as a kid, you think that it includes constructive criticism, so you don't offer any. Then the people who needed it don't hear it their entire life. When they do start getting it, they can't handle it and write it off as just being mean. Oh, I ain't gonna cap, this person ate with that, because a lot of things that we did learn as children or were embedded in us by society, they should not be norms. We should not be taught that like, oh, you have to share with people. We should not be taught that like, oh, somebody telling you something that you need to hear, especially if they're saying it to you in a kind manner, you should not take that as, oh, you're being mean. Because I be trying to tell people that about me. I am a Gemini. A lot of shit, I'm not trying to fucking be mean. It's just that I feel like genuinely someone or no one is not telling you this. Like, you need to get up. You need to move. Like, hey, this ain't right. Hey, you want to start a business, but da da da. Like, certain stuff I even try to implement with people to start that first step so they can take initiative. And when they don't, it's like, damn, you really showing me that you can't ride the wave. You go drown. What can you do with that? Absolutely, what can you do with that? You can't. You just have to realize that like the little stuff that you can put in people's hands, if they can't even handle that, when it comes to the big shit, what are they gonna do? And that's just what it comes down to at the end of the day. But I have to say that like, this is real, bro. Constructive criticism is needed. That's why every time I've ever had to start a job, the more mature I got, when I get up in there, I be asking them to critique me. I'm like, hey, what can I do better? What do you need me to do? What am I like? What? Like, because I want to know. That's how you get more money. That's how you get in bigger and better positions, because they see that like, this person is malleable. I can teach this person. This person is willing to learn. They want to grow. When I cannot or do not want to do this anymore, this person can do it. You bitches be thinking small. I need you bitches to think big. Like, seriously. Anyways, let's get on to this last post. But I like that one a lot, because yeah, that was really nice to point out that sometimes it starts from the beginning. I think about that sometimes too. I be like, damn, a lot of shit that we got taught as kids or in school or like throughout society is weird as fuck, and we really should stop doing and listening to these niggas sometimes. Like, come on. But anyways, what the fuck do we got next? These shits are straight. They're not all that. This one is decent, and it's not too long either, because some of them, they should be long and like, just like that one person, an emotional long run-on sentence. This one says, negative criticism is just as important as constructive criticism. I think criticism, whether negative or constructive, is so important. All foods, all forms of the art, all sports, all martial arts, and all forms of media are completely open to criticism, and much of the criticism is constructive, but much is also negative, which is just as important. Food critics can give low ratings or high ratings depending on how they felt about the food. Criticism, both constructive and negative, is extremely important. This is going back to like what we have been saying. What does this person say? A critic doesn't give negative criticism. He gives a low score and explains why. That is constructive criticism. All criticism is negative because you can't positively criticize. But constructive criticism is when you actually tell someone how to improve. I agree with that too as well. with this one, since we ended it off on this, I need everyone to understand there's always going to be a good and a bad. There's always going to be a light and a dark. There's always going to be a devil and an angel. There's always going to be devil's advocate. You need both sides for everything to work. How will you get better if everyone is telling you that you're perfect and you really not? I tell people straight up, then when you see something, like even when I did my first video for you guys for RedditRah, I said get in the comments and let me know your thoughts about this video. Do I need better lighting? Does the camera need to be closer? And I still want to know these type of things. Like, can you hear me well? Can you motherfucking hear me well? For real, like dead ass, like all of that stuff is important because people's opinions can really build you up to be better depending on how you want to take it. I feel like, especially if it's something that you can change, like somebody be like, hey, you know, you could use a little bit of lighting. All I gotta do is like not even walk 1 foot to turn up my lighting, and that just made the video 10 times better. That's literally all it be taking. I be wanting people to critique me, especially when you do it and you're being kind about it. That doesn't hurt me, and it also lets me know that you're doing it from the heart and you're just trying to tell me something that ultimately is going to build me up to be more than what I am right now. And since I'm so fucking phenomenal right now and you're trying to add to my phenomenalness, I fuck with you because that shows that shows that you fucking with me, and we're fucking with each other. We fucking with each other real bad. But yeah, enough with the fun. This shit is real. Like, dead ass. I really feel like everybody should just understand the double sides of the coin. You need to understand that there's gonna be some bad, but the only thing that you can do since you can't be fucking perfect, since you're not fucking Jesus, is try to make the good outweigh the fucking bad. Make the good outweigh the bad. That way people could be like, damn, this, that, and the third is such and such, but man, ain't nothing like that. Yeah, you got too much good shit to say and think of when it comes to me. That shit, that imperfection, it don't even matter. It don't even matter. Especially if my heart, you came to me and you was telling me something was foul and I fixed it. Then it's like, then what? I got better for you. I loved you enough to get better for you and myself, because I seen that what you was saying was like, you know what? You right. Let's switch it up. But yeah, I really love you guys. I really love this. And I feel like I've done enough today, to now. So I'm really finna be out on y'all boys in a little bit. Like we always end this on a good note. I want to say thank you so much to everybody for tuning in, for watching this. I love you guys. Let's love God. Let's love each other. Let's level up Sierra style. And you know, like I always tell you to do, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all of that. Let people know who I am, especially because if you do something, come to me. I'm gonna show you love. You can email me, you can DM me, you can FaceTime me, depending on who you are. Hey, let's get back to the business though. With that as though, I just want to say thank you to everybody for watching my shit. And today's episode was criticism. Let's try to learn how to take it, and let's learn that when we give it, let's be as kind as we can. All right, y'all. Yeah, get up out of here. Go.